Out and About is made possible in part by Mountain Shepherd Adventure School in Craig County, Virginia. Mountain Shepherd believes that every person can learn to appreciate and navigate the outdoors with confidence. More information at mountainshepherd.com.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Out and About. I'm Tom Landon. Today we are heading on one of the region's classic hikes on the Blue Ridge Parkway. We're going to Sharp Top, which is one of the Peaks of Otter, located in Bedford County. It has been about 20 years since I did this hike, so I'm really looking forward to seeing it again. It is a crisp August morning. We've had a little break from the heat, and it's the perfect day to take a hike. One of the things I like the most about it is that just getting here is about half an hour on the parkway once you get off of Route 460. So parkway is not the fastest way to get somewhere, but it is a great drive pretty much any time of day.
As you approach the peaks at milepost 86 heading northbound, you'll see two buildings on your left, a gift shop and the Visitors Center, which is operated by the National Park Service. Inside, you'll find a helpful park ranger and some great interpretive exhibits that tell the story of both the physical and human geography of the Peaks of Otter. Sharp Top was originally believed to be the tallest peak in Virginia, and before the Blue Ridge Parkway was built, it was home to Native Americans, settlers, and a resort hotel dating back to the 1820s. The trailhead for the Sharp Top hike is across the road, and you'll also find a Park Service campground and the Sharp Top store, which sells snacks, drinks, and supplies when it's open. Even when it's closed, both the restrooms and a place to fill your water bottle are open. Make sure you carry some water with you on this hike, which is a 3 to 4 mile up and back, depending on whether you take a side trail near the top. Don't let the signage about bears scare you. Eastern black bears are rarely a threat unless you try to feed them or get in between a mama bear and her cubs, but it's still good to follow the Park Service instructions for what to do if you encounter one. Yell, make yourself bigger, throw rocks, not food, if threatened. I'm more worried about chiggers, ticks, and poison ivy than I am about running into a bear. My friend Dina and I were hiking in the middle of the week and really only saw a few people on the trail and at the top. But on a beautiful weekend when the leaves are turning, this trail gets a lot of use. So there are times when you just need to be patient and make some room. So we're about 10 minutes into the hike, and so far, just a nice uphill, wide path. Just be aware that it is going to be uphill all the way up and downhill all the way down.
Hello. How are you? Good.
As we make the climb, I can't help but thinking about the times when these trails like this were built. Many trails in the United States built by the Civilian Conservation Corps, which was a New Deal program to put young men to work at a time when there were no jobs. Thousands and thousands of miles of trails, cabins, bridges. It was a good coincidence of an unemployed young male population and a whole set of new national parks and national forests. And then, with the coming of World War II, young men were needed elsewhere, but not before performing a very, very valuable service.
We didn't see any bears, but there was still some wildlife to behold, from bees pollinating some of the last summer flowers, to a cautious doe, to a caterpillar. And we heard woodpeckers and other birds on the way up too. Just stopping and listening is as much a feast for the ears as the mountain views and wildlife are for the eyes.
As you get near the top, it opens up, and the plants change, and it gets cooler. Getting closer to the top and a spectacular view.
The Sharp Top shelter was built in the 1930s by the CCC, and though it would be an awesome place to spend the night with friends, camping and fires are strictly prohibited. If nothing else, it's a great place to get out of the sun for a few minutes.
So I'm inside what we used to call the Boy Scout house, and it's this beautiful stone structure that is really It's surprising when you find it up here. Just think about how much work it would have been to stack all this stone. The walls are probably 3 feet thick.
From here, it's just about 100 steps to the very top of the mountain, which is 3,875 feet above sea level. Surprisingly, it's not even the tallest of the Peaks of Otter. That distinction belongs to nearby Flat Top, which is just above 4,000 feet. If you're looking for a longer hike with fewer people, consider hiking Flat Top instead, though the payoff at the top is more spectacular here. If you do want to hike all of the Peaks of Otter, you'll also want to hit the trail to Harkening Hill, the lesser-known peak of the three. That trail is a 4.3-mile loop and includes a visit to the Johnson Farm, where you can learn the history of one of the families displaced by the establishment of the Blue Ridge Parkway.
So here we are at the top. Beautiful, beautiful day. A little haze in the valley, but not too bad. One big difference about this climb is that it's almost all steps, so there's no rock scrambling or anything like that to get up to the top. Big payoff. You've got, we're up here at Sharp Top, and you've got Flat Top there right behind me. So you can do both in a day or do one a day. If you've made it this far, you might as well add 600 feet and go up to Buzzard's Roost. There you'll have a really nice perspective on the peak of Sharp Top. And one last place to rest before you head down.
For those who might not be able to or don't have the time to make the hike, there is a shuttle operated by the folks at the Peaks of Otter Lodge. It drops you off about a quarter mile from the peak and still requires some climbing. Make sure you call or go online in advance to find out if it's running on the day you plan to come. However you get to the top, allow some time to check out the Peaks of Otter Lodge at the bottom. Every room in the lodge has a view of the mountains, as do the restaurant and lounge area. There's a short flat trail around Abbott Lake, and I think I'll come back soon for a quiet weekend with my wife. There's not a lot to do here besides hike, watch the stars come out at night, and relax, which is kind of my idea of the perfect weekend.
So there you have it, the Peaks of Otter Sharp Top hike along the Blue Ridge Parkway. I highly recommend it. It has the added benefit of having a restaurant and gift shop at the end, as long as you come during the right time. So I hope you come out and do this hike, and I'd love to hear about it if you do, and we'll see you